You could tell a lot about a commander player by the decks they build. Some chase wins, some chase chaos, and others, they just love seeing how wild a commander game can get. What's up, guys? I'm Shawn from Valid MTG, and every deck I build tells a story. It's about my playstyle, my creativity, and honestly, my personality. And in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of my commander team. It's a lot. Okay, there's a lot. The ones I've built, the precons I've kept, as well as others that are in my notes ready to be built. This is the start of a series that will take you through every deck, starting with this one, giving an overview, as well as going deeper and looking at the deck text of the ones I've built. Some of my favorite precons, talking about them, as well as some decks that I've built, just haven't bought, and others that are on the horizon. So let's get into it. Commander for me isn't just about the cards, it's about the story. I love decks that say something, whether that's I'm here to control the game, I'm here to make you laugh, or I'm just here to drop something massive and pray it sticks. Each deck I've built represents a piece of me, whether that's my creativity, my chaos strategy, or just pure fun. Think of this as a tour through my mind as a Magic player, and let's start with the decks that define me the most. So, to me, the captain of my commander team, the one deck that I've built and have blinged out and is at the top of my list is Ur-Dragon. Now, this deck is pure power, big plays, big creatures, and the biggest presence at the table. It's the deck that I first built, and to me, every game feels cinematic. It's not just about dragons, it's about building something unstoppable. Next up, I'm a blue player. So I had to build a mono blue deck, and the first deck I built that was mono blue is Urza Lord High Artificer. Now, this is what I call my big stacks, heavy, big brain, big plays deck, because everything is calculated. Every tap, every trigger, every mana rock has a purpose. It's the side of me that loves control and synergy, and it's just really fun. This is a bracket 4. Now, next up with Final Fantasy, we got Choco, Seeker of Paradise. So I had to build a birds deck. When I first saw Choco run, I was like, wow, I love it. Then in Magic Arena, I started playing Landfall, more mono green, more Simic. Landfall with the Traveling Chocobo and a lot of the bird cards from Final Fantasy. So I decided to make it a commander deck. There's just something satisfying about landfall triggers that is fun. I don't know what it is, but it's probably my second in command deck. The one that if I'm not playing dragons, I'm more than likely going to play birds. Now, the newest one came out with the newest set, and it's Cosmic Spider-Man. This one is my meme deck. I just thought it'd be fun. I just threw every single card minus 3 cards in this deck are from the Spider-Man set. The only cards that aren't are 2 basic islands and a chromatic lantern. Other than that, every other card in the deck is from the new Spider-Man set, and it's just a bunch of jank put together. It's so fun when it works. When it doesn't, it sucks. But anyways, all right. Now, I also love Eldrazi and artifacts, so I had to go colorless, and that is ran by Ultima, God of Oblivion. Why would you not want this card as your commander if you're running colorless? I understand there's other colorless parts, but to double your mana, why not take that chance to put out some big Eldrazi early on? So I love this deck. This is my colorless deck. I got white sleeves. I got the Doodle Bob. There's no color minus the art in this deck. It is so fun. Next up, we got Krenko. Yes, I built a goblin deck. It's not it's not as finished. It's completed, but there's some upgrades I got to make it really powerful and make it that Krinko deck that everyone hates to see coming. There I just quite I haven't quite figured it out yet. I got some ideas, but until then, it's a fun deck. I've gotten up to 100 goblins at one point with Goblin Bombardment to win the game, but it could be better. I just have to work on it. Now let's get to the precons that I have. My very first precon was given to me by a friend when I said, "Hey, I want to come back into Magic," and he was, "But I've never played Commander. What should I get?" And he bought me this deck, and I still have it. It's kind of a keepsake just because of one, it was a gift, and two, it is a pretty good deck when it goes off, and that's Fairies from Wilds of Eldraine. Um, Fairies is very sneaky because you look at them and you're like, wow, these can be powerful, but something about Demir just goes off, and you're able to control and do a lot of damage with them. Now, one deck that is still a precon minus some upgrades is Slivers. Yes, I am a Sliver player. Um, it's very upgraded. Sliver Gravemother is not the commander. I did buy a first Sliver, and that is the commander. I have a Giganta the Wellspring companion. Yeah. This one is very fun because slivers are fun. There's a reason why people hate slivers. It's hive mind chaos, and when they get out of hand, they get out of hand. And yeah, another Urza Chief Artificer. Now, yes, I have Urza Lord High Artificer. I love artifacts. Artifacts was one of the first mechanics I dealt with when I first started Magic, and I just fell in love with it. And Esper artifacts just do something. Um, this deck was the second deck I have and stayed together. I bought both Brothers War. Mishra got taken apart, but Urza stayed together. Just I love the synergy that it just has. After that, I got the Doctor Who Villainous Choice deck. I love Grixis. Really anything with blue, but Grixis was my first tricolor combo. Nicobolus is my favorite planeswalker. That's why he's an Ur-Dragon. But Nicobolus is my favorite planeswalker. I love all iterations of him. And so Grixis was just the one that I love control, I love chaos, and I love to just do a lot of damage. So when I saw this one and the Villainous Choice, I love it. I call it my Let's Play a Game deck. Just because the damage I do, the Daleks I'm able to create, they can get out of hand. Plus, if my opponents choose wrong, it's over with. After that, newly is World Shaper. Jund, graveyard, sacrifice lands, bring stuff back. Stupid, broken, super fun. Now, I don't have the space state. I forgot what the spaceship's called. Hearthal, the World Seed. I don't have that as my commander. I do have Cezarel, just because of the graveyard recursion. And every time you're able to play lands from the graveyard, when you sack, you're able to put counters based on his power. I use this just to build on my creatures. I'm able to keep building and bringing sack lands, keep building them up, and just adding counters to everything, especially with Corvold in this deck. Corvold and Cezarel together build up Corvold, super nasty, as well as the Gitrog monster. There's a lot of great creatures in there with counters. That is why I do that. That's why I made Cezarel that. And last but not least, in the precons is Cloud. This is my first Voltron deck. Never really messed with Voltron. This one was My very first, and oh my gosh, Voltron is so fun. Being able to equip stuff and just make clouds super big, super powerful, as well as getting the advantages from the equipment and the auras. I love it. Now, there are some upgrades I do want to make to this deck, as adding the Buster Sword just feels just right. As well as like Cloud, Midgard, Mercenary, stuff like that. So there are upgrades to, some of these decks that I do want to make. But as of right now, these are where they stand. Now, moving on to the decks I want to build. Here's where things get fun. It seems like every day I think about a new deck. I see a deck and I'm like, wow, I wonder if I can build that. What are some other mechanics that I can do? And so here are a few that are interesting to me. Right off the rip, Eggman. Sonic fans, you already know. The secret lair, we got introduced to Eggman, and Grixis, Villainous Choice, is crazy. It's a very chaotic artifact deck that you face a choice. You either discard a card or you let me put something on the battlefield for free. And if I have the cards in my hand, I'm going to play a big construct that goes hard in the paint. So there's a lot of things that we can do here, and I'm super excited. I've already started building this. There's, like I said, I took apart Mishra. That is to feed into this deck. There's artifact lands. There's Deadpool. There's Shadow. I think I even have Kefka in there. There's a lot of great Grixis. Villainous Choice. I am here to be the villain place, and I'm gonna have fun with it. And yeah. All right, next up, there's Garth One Eye. To me, this feels very nostalgic. A commander that lets me play Magic's history in one go. Sounds super fun. I first saw a Garth One Eye deck from the game nights with Post Malone, and I fell in love with it. Now, I don't think I would go as crazy as Josh did, but I'm super excited. Like I bought a few cards already, like Staff of Domination, just to name one. But I want to get more into it. Now, in that video, you also saw Rakdos Food. And the commander is Asmoran Mordecai Destinacoldakar. Very mouthful, but that was played by Jimmy. And I just love the synergy that it had as well. This one could be my fun deck. It's very chaotic, but it could be hilarious. I think in my notes I named this one Yes Chef, just as a way to like have fun. Now of course there's other ones in here that I'm thinking about. Just I have a full list, and I feel like that's another video of just talking about what I want to build, what I'm going to build, and stuff like that. When you lay them all out, you got to see a bigger picture. Now, I try not to build decks just to win. I build them for fun, interaction. If you saw the intro video, you know that my friends call me one of the biggest threat at the table. But at the end of the day, Commander's about connection with your friends, your decks, and the game itself. So that's the overview. But it's just the beginning. I plan on doing multiple series of this, talking about the individual deck techs on all of my pre-built decks, as well as going through the pre-cons, maybe some upgrades that I'm planning on doing, and then talking about my decks I want to build, my plans, getting some thoughts from y'all, and building those decks for some of our videos. So yeah, if you love Commander, or you just want to see some chaos and creativity, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the future videos. And comment down below what some of your favorite decks are and what decks I should look at building. Other than that, guys, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.